Thank you so much. What a great welcome. It is so good to be here tonight. And do I ever have good news for you? We are only one day away from making Justin Trudeau a one-term Prime Minister. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Ladies and gentlemen, our campaign to help Canadians get ahead is nearing the finish line. But now is when we need your help the absolute most. In these critical final days when we have to push the hardest to get our vote out. So I want to thank you all for the work that you've done. But we're going to need everything you have left to convince your friends and neighbors to join the millions of Canadians who are already voting Conservative in this election so we can put an end to Justin Trudeau's scandal-plagued, deficit-running, tax-hiking, law-breaking government. Thank you so much. Because Canadians are counting on us. They're counting on us to make life more affordable, to help them get ahead. The hard-worked and underpaid single mother barely making it to the end of the month, she's counting on us. The risk-taking small business owner trying to make payroll and keep her company afloat, she's counting on us too. The parents who spend hours commuting every day to support their family and save for retirement, they're counting on us. And the seniors being squeezed by higher prices for groceries and home heating, they're counting on us too. Canadians are counting on us, ladies and gentlemen. They're counting on us to finally help them get ahead. Because that is what this election will come down to. Who do you trust to put more money in your pockets so you and your family can get ahead? Now, well, according to a straw poll I just took, now we know how much we can trust Justin Trudeau. Because this is the same Justin Trudeau who lied to Canadians about balancing the budget, the same Trudeau the ethics commissioner found guilty of breaking ethics laws not once but twice, and the same Trudeau who will auction off your tax dollars to the NDP just so he can stay in power. Now, Justin Trudeau has spent this campaign telling us that we've never had it so good. And you know what? I'm sure in his world that is true. Remember, he said that higher gas prices were exactly what he wanted. Well, trust fund millionaires like Justin Trudeau might not worry about $2 a liter gasoline, but the hard-working Canadians I meet every single day, they definitely do, and they want none of it. Because the government shouldn't be for the people who are already doing well. And I'm here for the people who just need a break. The parents who sit around the dinner table, like mine often did, crunching the numbers to figure out how they would make it to the end of the month. That's who I'm fighting for, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is who I will govern for. So let me tell you what I'm hearing from the Canadians I've met all across this country. There is frustration and anxiety out there, and it is real. For the first time, perhaps ever, there is a sense that future generations might not be better off. That no matter how hard you work, you're just not getting ahead. Feeling that the dreams and goals that you have for your children are getting harder and harder to reach. But that's not the Canada I know and love. Canada should be a place where hard work is rewarded, where no goal is out of reach, and where no ambition is too big. That is the Canada I want. But under Trudeau, the majority of Canadians are stretching their last dollar just to pay their bills. Almost half are overwhelmed by their debts, and middle-class families are paying more and more in taxes. But life shouldn't be this difficult for people who work hard and do everything right. And here's the thing about liberals like Justin Trudeau. He's always in it for somebody else. It's never for you. He's in it for somebody who has the money to hire a lobbyist, a special interest with an insider connection, or a billion-dollar corporation with a huge government relations team. For 4 years, he has turned his back on Canadians like you and has governed this country exclusively for them. Well, that ends tomorrow. When everybody who doesn't have a lobbyist, everyone who doesn't know a powerful politician or a bureaucrat, and everybody who can't seem to get ahead, when they finally have a voice in Ottawa with a new Conservative government. As Prime Minister, I'm going to bring in a tax cut for everyone, a universal tax cut, putting $850 back in the pockets of an average earning couple. Now, I know we're in British Columbia, but just out of curiosity, how many people in the room here tonight are either from or whose parents were from Saskatchewan? So we know that in almost every part of the country, heating your home in January is a necessity, not a luxury. And that's why we're going to take the GST off of your home heating bill. And we're going to boost the RESP so you can save for your kids' education. And we're going to bring back the popular tax credit, the kids' sports and activities tax credit, ladies and gentlemen, to make it more affordable to put your kids in hockey, soccer, or things like that. But of course, job number one. My very first act as Prime Minister, the first piece of legislation for a Conservative government. My colleagues know this, Canadians know this. The first piece of legislation will be called an act to repeal the carbon tax, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to do this by getting rid of corporate handouts to multi-billion-dollar companies and cutting foreign aid to wealthy countries that don't need it and hostile regimes that don't deserve it. That money belongs to you, not them, and I'll make sure it stays in your pocket. And you see, that is the big difference between liberals and conservatives. Liberals believe that opportunity can only come from the government. But conservatives know that it is Canadians who make this country work, to drive our economy, to solve the problems we face as a country. Liberals put all their faith in government. Conservatives, we put our faith in people. And we know that conservative values are what built this country, and they're needed now more than ever. Here in Vancouver and all across this nation over the last 40 days, I have met so many new Canadians, families who have come from all over the world in search of freedom, hope, and opportunity. And they have found those same values here in the Conservative Party of Canada. Because new Canadians recognize that the values Conservatives hold dear are the very same values they came to Canada in search for. Strong families, safe communities, hard work paying off, and the fundamental freedoms of thought, of speech, of religion. And my commitment to new Canadians and to all Canadians is that Conservatives will always fight to protect those fundamental rights. And when I look ahead to Canada's future, I see a country that creates its own opportunity. But under Justin Trudeau, Canada has become a country of no. No to big nation-building projects. No to standing up for Canada on the world stage. And no to hard-working entrepreneurs who create jobs. But while Justin Trudeau says no, my Canada is a country of yes. Yes Yes to a stronger, more united country. Yes to big projects that put our people to work. Yes to lower taxes and balanced budgets. And yes to more money in your pocket so you can get ahead. But now we see that Justin Trudeau is still leaving the door open, talking about working with the NDP after the election so he can cling to power. A coalition in which he might be the spokesman, but the NDP will be calling the shots. For higher taxes, for fewer jobs, for bigger bills, and for less money in your pockets. It's the coalition Canadians can't afford, but we are going to stop that from happening tomorrow. And so with only hours before Canadians head to the polls, I want us all to imagine, what if we had a government that said yes to the big dreams of Canadians? What if we had a government that didn't demonize you for having a different opinion, but celebrated our freedom of thought and expression? What if we had a government that knew that no program or bureaucracy can replace the power of the human spirit in the free market? What if we had a prime minister that didn't get bullied and pushed around on the world stage, but stood up for Canada and stood up for Canadians? What if we had a prime minister that didn't look veterans in the eye and tell them that they are asking for more than they can give, but instead honored their service and their sacrifice to this country? What if we had a prime minister that didn't attack law-abiding hunters and farmers, but instead took the fight to the gangsters and criminals who threaten our streets? What if we had a prime minister that actually understood the everyday problems Canadians face and governed with a clear plan to help? Well, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow Canadians will have a chance to find out, because this is what I am offering in this election. A country where people aren't just there to pay taxes to a big government, they're there to be served by a good government. A government where we work with First Nations as partners in our shared prosperity instead of talking down to them with empty gestures and symbolism. A government where wealth isn't taxed and regulated and controlled, but created and unleashed and multiplied. Where hard work is rewarded, not punished. Where the government realizes that the best way to ensure that more Canadians can get ahead is by lifting people up, not tearing people down. A country where we build big nation-building projects, the kinds of things that bring us closer together and make it easier for one part of the country to benefit from the prosperity of another. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my positive conservative vision, where taxes are low, government is limited, opportunity is equal, and freedom is celebrated, and where you can get ahead. And in 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen, 24 hours from right now, that's the country we're going to have. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.